It's based upon a poetry that was written in 12th century AD by this great poet called Gorakhnath, who supposed to have invented the idea of doha, which literally means couplet, that very often than not in dohas, the first line establishes an image and the second line establishes a seemingly counter image, that it opens up a space, huge speculative space, that each one of us can take what we can out of it from our own experiences. And this particular poetry is built very architecturally, even in terms of the way it is built, the structure of the poetry, and the content of the poetry talks about architecture. That the first line says, empty is this city, empty is this house, empty is this fort. And the second line goes, who's asleep and who's awake. So if everything is empty, then where is the question of anyone being asleep or awake? So it kind of creates this speculative space and a cosmotic space. So in a way, my effort at making this film was to kind of, bring in that aesthetic structure into another completely different medium. It's also a way of bringing in all that I've been kind of a part of in some ways into a space that is contemporary, seemingly contemporary. So you'll see that all the actors, and there are three conventions of cinema that is being played out as parallel streams. There is music, which also doubles up as the background music, and then there is building of the structure within the film. And while the structure is being built, there is this performance that happens with the help of actors, and it kind of, the situations, you wonder how they are connected, and also the relationship between the actors is something that is very, very speculative in many ways, that you can build the story that you want to out of it. So what we did was we created this huge structure, a set of three architectural pieces that developed through my writing of the script over the 3 years. That it's completely idiosyncratic in terms of architectural design, and yet that something looks like that could be old. And each piece of the wood that comes to make up the structure was recycled from second-hand market, that it was a part of some dismantled structure at some point of time. So it's also bringing in those polarities into the work, that it is completely newly built. At the same time, the components are could be really old, ranging from, we don't know how much, each of these components are, old in terms of their time. I think essentially, I believe that there is an artifice involved in, setting up of a show. Having spent, energy and time in making or investing a certain meaning into making something, the question is whether it's possible to include the fact that this could all be meaningless in terms of into the making of it. So it's playing both those notions, that you kind of create something and invest so much meaning into something, only to be able to say that this could all be kind of meaningless.